Hello. Let's see. I haven't done this in a while. I'm gonna share. Let's check it first. Where's my phone? I guess I forgot my phone. Let me go get it. I thought I had it. I'll be back. Okay. Okay, there's a little bit of a delay on my phone, but that's okay. I'm gonna turn up the brightness. Let's see. Delay on my phone, but that's okay. Cool. Okay, let me share this stream. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Now to deal with the pop-up. Okay. I did that. Okay. Let's see. I haven't done this before. Screen sharing tips. Okay. So use just 2 monitors. Oh, hi, Paul. Good computer. Share audio. Look. Okay. Okay. Hi, Paul. So before I get into, because I don't really know on how to do this, because I've never. Today's video is I'm just trying to figure out my comic that I want to create. Yeah. Let's see if I can show. Okay. Hi, Paul. I know, right? Yeah, we know each other from a couple of other artists on YouTube, which I'm going to get into here shortly. So today's video is a little nebulous in how I want to set it up. Because this is, like I said, my first comic that I want to create. So I don't know like where to go on this, and I don't know how long or I don't know how regular this is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a series of live streams for this, but we're just going to go with it. But before that, before being on the topic of comics, I would like to share a package that I got. So me and Paul, we're regular viewers of a podcast called The Artcasters here on YouTube, and they just had their 500 episode special. It was like awards. It was really fun, and the end of the stream they had rewards for the top viewers, and it was 4 people. Edie, like in order, I believe it was Edie, Keeman, Midrin, and myself. So I got the platinum reward, and Scott, he's one of the hosts of the podcast, and he actually lives in my city, so I got it within a few days. And I got this about 3 or 4 days ago. So this is what I got. I got a Vinylman portable phonograph pin. This is a mix between the hosts of the show. So I have a mixture of their art. Arcade Boy 2600 portable video game system. And most of this stuff you can buy on their website. The hosts are Scott Cirkland from Circworks on YouTube, and his second channel is Retro Art. Retro Art. I have it right here. It's a blank for me. Retro Art Lab. I want to say Retro Art Supply. So that's Scott. The other host is Joshua Kemble. He goes by Joshua Kemble on YouTube. The ex-host was on there, Corey Kerr, Kerr. He's also on YouTube. And one of the original hosts of the podcast, Kevin Cross, was on there too. They couldn't get the other original host on. And Scott Cirkland is one of the original hosts as well. So the other pin I got is the Viewmatic camera scope. And if I remember correctly, you can get these in print as well on Scott's website. And then stickers, I Heart Zombies, because he has a comic called Young and the Dead, which I backed last year around April or May on Kickstarter. And I got this sticker, Rocket Surgery Institute. And this was taped to the front of the package. Dylan, thanks for supporting the Artcasters. Here are a few items from myself and the rest of the gang. Scott. let's see. And then I got this 3D poster. Yeah. I know, right? Love it. And that's why I kept it. It's a nice note. Escape from the Third Dimension. Stereoscope 3D. And of course 3D glasses. And now this, I was excited. So I was excited for this because this is one of Scott's alternative covers for his comic book. And I wish I could have gotten it, but here it is. The retro look. Because as some of you may know, I love the retro look, and if I were to do digital art, I would get some brushes for or from like Retro Supply Co. or was it like Grit or something, some sort of company, because I really love it. And then I got 2 postcards, Unstoppable, and here's the back. And this one was funny. Talk nerdy to me. Okay, and now here's Corey Kerr's artwork. Outside. I love the details of it. And the colors are really nice too. This is from his web comic called Bridge of Enlightenment, which I started to read when it first came out, but I've fallen off and I've been meaning to get back to it. It's, if I remember correctly, it's kind of based off of the Industrial Revolution and the Luddite movement. So, yeah, anti-AI and all that good stuff. And then I got this one, First Amendment, Religion, Speech, Press, Assembly, and Petition. Which I like this a bit more because of what's happening now. But I like the black. It's really nice. And then back to Scott's work. Night of the Glob. If this was a movie, I would watch it. It's right up my alley. Mad Scientist Network. And I was surprised by this one. This was a collab by Scott from his second channel, Retro Art Lab, and his friend Kevin Cross. Tropical Sugar Coops. They did like a 3-part series on both of the channels, so there's like 6 videos total. It's just really cool. I was surprised by this. It makes me really happy because it was based off of mid-century modern art, from serials and stuff, which as if the people that are watching, they're like, okay, in my head, I have people watching because they know from other channels that I'm live today right now. Like Paul, if he remembers, I've talked about in other people's lives in the chat, saying that I love mid-century modern stuff, and Kevin and Scott love that too. So it's perfect. And now this was a surprise. I don't know if I'm supposed to share this, but I'm only going to show it for only a little bit. That is from his current project for a book that he's showed us before. It's Hip Hoptimist Rhyme. So Scott is really into hip hop. And so this is, if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be a mech versus kaiju story. We've seen some artwork over the past, like maybe 6 months. It looks really cool. But yeah, I was really excited for that. I like this one. Think inside the box. It just made me happy. How creative that is and stuff. And how it makes me like think of like sound effects and stuff. And then this is the final piece. I need more space. And again, that the last 3 were Scott. So that was that. It was really cool and fun to open up all that stuff. Oh, I emailed Scott back with questions and admiration about all this artwork. And in the email, I mentioned that I love when in graphic design, when they do this, they make the letters go along the line on the border line, and they're the same colors as the border. I really like that. So that's what I got from him and the others. I'm really excited for this. Because my comic that I'm gonna try and great great posters. Exactly. I love them. What was I saying? My comics that I'm trying to work on is kaiju based as well. I don't know how much to fucking share about this. Because I don't want anyone to steal my ideas or anything. Because they're $1 million ideas, of course. But let's see what I decide today. I don't know if there's going to be much drawing today. Let's see. Oh, now charged fast. Okay. I was charging my new stylus. Come on. There we go. I got yesterday. There we go. So, where's my sketchbook? I had it. There we go. So, again, I don't know what the hell to fucking share because I don't want to overshare and stuff. But I've had this idea for I don't know how long, maybe a couple years or so. But it's called Punk Kaiju. So it's a band of punks. And they can transform into their respective kaijus, which are kind of like human size, but they can combine into a larger kaiju. I haven't designed everything at this point. I only designed a few characters at the moment. So far, I'm thinking of it being 4 parts. And of course, they're punks, so it's going to be political. Because right now I'm little frustrated on what's happening. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if I can screen share something from Discord. Because I sent in Discord some like character like designs, like inspiration, I should say. Okay, let's try this. Oh, okay. Let's see. Window, entire screen. Oh, no. Let's just try it. Let me get on my phone. Okay. Okay. So let's see if it works. Poo. Guess it's not really working properly. Oh, wait. There it is. Okay. So, a villain. This is one of the villains. One of the first villain I have planned so far. It's inspired by my God, Paul. So let's see here. So the first villain, I really wanted it to be inspired by Megalon from Godzilla. I didn't want to show him today because I don't know if Toho would copyright claim me or whatever. Because Toho is one of the big companies that loves to do that stuff. So it's inspired by this beetle. I believe it's from Japan. And so basically it's inspired by this beetle combined with, a character with a TV head and a suit like this. And I named him, like I'm trying to name every villain with a Japanese word and like a German or Russian or American word combined. So this one, his name is Technic Mushi, which Technic is, I believe, German for technology, and Mushi means bug or insect in Japanese. Yeah, I didn't draw this, Paul, just to let you know. This is the inspiration. So let's go to the main. Let me remove that for right now. Okay, so this is my drawing. Let me, okay. I just cancel my StreamYard subscription. Good, because I'm guessing you checked the price as well, because it's a lot. I totally forgot to share it, share the price with you on your live stream. Looks like man a little bit. I don't know who that is, but yeah, that looks great. Yeah, that would be very villainous. Yes. So this is my drawing that I made a few weeks back. So let's see. So there's the beetle horn or whatever. So this is kind of in development, and of course the TV head, and those are like the knobs. And I'm thinking for his attacks, he could alternate through different like attacks. And since his head is CRT TV, so which I love. And I'm thinking of having the attacks pop up on his face. And these are like antennas with the wires and stuff. Let's see. Yeah, this character, he feeds off of anger and anxiety and helplessness and stuff like that. He's the personification of big tech and big media. And of course, all these characters grow tall. Reminds me of Power Rangers. Because, it's more badass when they're ginormous. Let's see here. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, so that's that character. And for one of the band members, I saw this image right here. I don't know if it's popped up yet. It's a little slow. Let me just check it. Okay, so I saw this image on Pinterest, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to have a character like that. So this would be a band member of Punk Kaiju, and it's inspired by this, but also, of course, Frankenstein's monster, and also the creeper from Scooby-Doo. Because I just thought that was a really unique design, or a really unique pose. I forget who this is. I forget which band he's from. But I thought it was really cool to have that as a design. And I'm thinking in his kaiju state, he's gonna have electrical powers. And I don't even have names for these characters. So I'm just going through my notes. And I would like to design him with punk hair, right? But that looks like he got shocked. To just add more of that Frankenstein's monster. design. Let's see. Yeah, I have a band member or a couple band members because there's 4. The leader, like the lead singer, I don't know exactly about his design, but one of them I would like to have her be into like roller skating, so she wears roller skates on stage while performing. And the other one, I think I might want to make her a little bit shorter. I'm not sure, but I just because I want to name all these characters. Like there's a band that I love called the Dead Deads. It's an all girl group. They're in multiple genres, but they're in like punk and rock and other alternative genres. And each band member has a name. Like I think it's their like legal name and then Dead at the end. So like one of them I believe is called Daisy Dead, and Daisy is her real name if I remember correctly. So I just thought taking inspiration from one of my favorite bands by blank name and then Dead, but instead of Dead it's punk. So I'm thinking for the one I was just talking about, the one not into roller skating, but I would like to name her Jabberjaw. So Jabberjaw Punk. Because there's this old cartoon from the 70s called Jabberjaw. It's about a shark named Jabberjaw. So I really haven't Paul Punk. Absolutely. Paul Punk it is. And I forget what the definition of Jabberjaw means, but it's kind of like I played the kazoo. We'll add that. But what was I saying? Oh my god, freaking pop up again. God, I hate these pop-ups. What was I saying? Oh, Jabberjaw is like what's the definition? Like it's word that kind of like means like talking a lot and kind of incoherently or something like that. So and I thought it'd be kind of funny. The character could like sing in the background of some of their songs because my weirdness is here, coming out, but sometimes I just blurt out weird things. This is at home, okay? So it's not Tourette's or anything. But I just make some weird sounds. And of course coming out of my mouth. But I just thought that'd be kind of funny. Like the words don't mean anything. And I just thought it'd be kind of funny and cool to add that because it's usually a little bit more monstrous of a voice. So I would like to have that as her character. And I'm thinking because some of her inspiration for her character design is kind of based off of King Shark in an animated, I believe it's in the animated Suicide Squad, where his lower jaw is like metal and it's like huge. So that's some of the inspiration. And the other is, I think, Knife Head kaiju from Pacific Rim. Really cool looking. What else? For the other one, I don't really have much of a design for her yet. Like literally the Frankenstein one is literally the only one that I have made progress on. But I just want them to be more unique. In their, well, obviously you would want every character to look unique, especially in, the typical or the useful tip is that when they're in silhouette, they look different. So, and for toys too and stuff like that. But for this one, I came up with an idea of potentially for design. Thinking of her having some sort of punk hairstyle, right? But have her have pigtails, right? But and I've seen someone craft this. It was on Instagram, but it was of course originally on TikTok. But or was it YouTube that I saw it on? Instagram or YouTube? But this woman, she I don't know if it was her real hair or a wig, but with the hair she did pigtails, but at the ends she formed the hair into a fucking mace. And I thought it was really cool. So I'm thinking of maybe designing her with pigtail with maces at the end, on roller skates. Uh, but I'm gonna need to try and design that and draw it out. Let's see. The lead singer, I have really no clue on what his design is. I think maybe he could be like more normal. Normal for his character design. Because the ones I kind of have a plan for and the one that I do have a plan for, they're all really fairly unique. So this is kind of like the Joey, I guess, of Yu-Gi-Oh, a different group. I don't know, but because you have the Frankenstein looking dude, and then Jabberjaw, and then the one on the roller skates with the hair, in maces, the mace hair. Because my idea is to try and add their character design as human, also translate into their respective kaiju design as well. Like I said, with the Frankenstein's monster one, with the electricity looking thing, translates into his powers too. And there's like no way I'm going to do what is it? Roller skates for a kaiju. Like by that I mean like natural fleshy roller skates. That would just look a little weird. So I'm thinking of having that character's kaiju have like the strands, like the mace hair, in her kaiju design, or like, and I took inspiration from I haven't seen the episode yet, but it's from Love, Death, and Robots. There's an episode where there's giant dai kaijus, because let me just be a nerd, okay? So kaiju here in the West, we're technically wrong. Like I'm talking about like Godzilla, King Kong, and stuff like that. The larger kaijus. Kaiju is like monster or strange monster in Japanese. But Godzilla and the other large kaijus are called dai kaiju. I believe DAI kaiju. And Daikaiju means like large, strange creature. So I forget where I was going with that, but yeah, that's the difference. And Gamera, the turtle, he is a Daikaiju too. But I would really love to make like a soundtrack for this band. But I don't really play music. I do know if Paul knows. We know a few people who have been in bands, and some of them have been in punk bands. It'd be really cool to get their help, or like at least like some advice or whatever, to create the songs. And okay, because I want these songs to be really unique. Just think of, oh man, the songs by Sleep Token that really popped off a couple of years ago. Oh my god. Like The Edge of Eden, The Summoning, that's the most popular song. The Summoning, listen to that, and then Take Me Back to Eden. Those are really popular. It's mainly The Summoning, if I'm remembering correctly. And then let's see here. Did I get any other? Okay. And then okay. The band is man. I know the song's name. It's called Suffocate. By God. Not Loose. Suffocate featuring Poppy. I suggest to check those songs out to get the vibe of punk kaiju. Like Suffocate by Not Loose. I think towards the end of the song they have this really sick what is it? Reggae tone. My charger isn't working. What the hell? I just had it plugged in. Oh god, I swear. It should be good enough because I was only playing for like maybe an hour on here. It has this really cool reggae riff on the guitar. So it's like punk or like alternative, right? But then reggae. Oh my god, I love it. It's a surprise. Like everyone was shocked. And then Suffocate, or excuse me, The Summoning, just has some really cool creative riffs and stuff and sounds. Like they mixed like a couple of genres in there. So that's kind of what I want with punk kaiju. If I was able to create songs for them, I want them to be unique and pull from different styles of music. Like it'd be kind of cool to actually have Scott Strickland to have a song on there with some hip hop beats and stuff in it too. I just want it to sound really unique, and I love those songs. So for because let's see here, what should I talk about next? Let's see. Oops. Okay. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through Discord right now, or one of the servers I'm on. Yeah, I might have to leave Discord for March because they're freaking annoying ass new update. So I have some. Paul, your comment makes me laugh. Still makes me laugh. Because, like I said, they play. They had influence with different genres, so because it isn't too far off. And plus, you have Jabberjaw in the backgrounds from their songs too, just making shit up. And plus, like, it would be really helpful to have actual songs and like music notes, like music sheets, instead of just drawing random ass music notes on the page. But it would be also pretty cool to have like a YouTube link or a Spotify link to the actual like playlist or album from Punk Kaiju. Discord, too many things. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things to use now. Kind of annoying, but also it's nice to have a little bit of a variety. But boy. But let's see. What was I saying, Paul? Oh, music, like music notes and stuff. Because I just don't want to throw different music notes to the wall and see if they stick. Oh yeah. It'd be cool to upload the actual album to Spotify and or YouTube. For because it makes the world or the comic universe a little bit more deeper and more enjoyable and stuff. But I don't know when that will happen, at least for the music wise thing. But I'm thinking of making like a YouTube playlist or a Spotify playlist for each of the band members. Because a part of me also wants to write some commentary on the punk culture as well. Because some of my close friends know this. And even, some other not close friends like Joshua Campbell. And I say that respectfully because we don't like talk on the phone and stuff or text. But he knows that I mentioned in one of his live streams in the chat that I'm one of the people who likes to critique all sides, like political wise, and like all communities, even the communities I'm a part of. You're not exempt from my judgments. Somebody needs to try and, well, I mean, I'm not doing it just for that, but like, we're not going to agree on everything. Like, I would like to make some commentary on the punk community as well, but that's also not really the point of the comics. The comics are more about trying to spread more hope in the community, and by community I mean like the world, not just the punk community. Just to give a glimmer of hope and support and community. I once made a comic that was based on a song, September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay, great song. Just random notes on the wall, though. That's funny. I remember in a couple of Scott's videos, he, I believe one of them was his comic making 101 video series. Yeah, that I suggest to people to watch that series. There's dozens of videos on that series. But he mentioned that he participated in a YouTube challenge years ago. I think like about a decade ago now, where the challenge was to make a mini comic from music lyrics from a song that you pick. And in one of his recent videos, within the last like month and a half, 2 months, he showed him because he made a drawing and he hung it up in one of his hallways in his house, and he showed us the gallery wall that he had, and in there it showed he showed that comic that he made for that song. I forget the song that he picked, but I thought it was pretty cool. That series is a must for anybody making comics. I agree. Because in one of his videos, that I think that wasn't a part of that series, he mentions that he's gotten comments throughout those videos from actual professionals in the comic industry saying that these are really great videos, like because he breaks them down really well. So I like to go back to rewatch them. It'd be nice to take a weekend and just rewatch the whole series like in one go. But because I don't think I've seen the whole series, because like I said, there's dozens of videos. I want to say there's close to like 100, maybe. It's a lot. Because he had a main video of the week, but also I just had the word. But he had a shorter video at the end of the week. So there's at least 2 videos per topic. So it's a fantastic series. But to get back onto the comic idea, so far I have like 4 villains. So that's the big tech / media that I showed right there. And then I want an oil pollution / mining villain as well. Which of course I would love to base on Hedorah from Toho, from Godzilla vs. Hedorah. He is the smog monster, the pollution monster. I love his design. He's like a living, like huge pool of like oil and stuff, and also like smog. Like he kills a lot of people because it's a movie based on pollution and natural disasters and that type of stuff. But I have a few designs that I would like to for some reason your comment from a little while ago is showing up on here, but showing up on YouTube, so I can't pop it up. But this was Paul after I showed the stack. Wow, what a stash you got! I showed my arson, got less because Paul he won an award on the show, the award show, and you can watch it, but he's famously known to create comics without pants. And he edited it and stuff, but it was just really fucking funny. And I feel like I'm sharing sensitive information, but like sure it is a little bit, but also like you said in multiple videos, and even the guys on the Arcasters have said it multiple times, so it's not necessarily a secret. And plus the video that you shared on the live stream a couple weeks ago. But back to the comic. So I have some really sick design ideas for the oil pollution monster. The original one, which I just drew this last week. No, earlier this week. I think maybe Monday. Right. Because the original idea, or one of the originals, was that, since it's oil, and it's like fossil fuels. So I thought of making of course, like a super large T-Rex skeleton, but like in between the bones and stuff, it looks like it's melting, but it's like oil. So I drew this the other earlier this week. And I did find some pictures that were, because that took me a while, and I was frustrated. So I am not doing it super detailed like that. I'm going to try and cartoonize it or simplify it. Cool, thank you. So I found some images on Pinterest of more simplified T-Rex skeletons, and I also found this one picture of, seems to be a T-Rex, but it could be some other like Tyrannosaurid or bipedal carnivore thing. Yeah, definitely keep it simple. Oh yeah, because I ain't fucking doing that again. And plus I have to like move it around and stuff. So that's the first idea. Then the second idea was because I want to incorporate the oil and the sludgy growiness of it. I thought of a mutated large, again, there's supposed to be daikaijus. Because I wanted to keep it, because originally I wanted it kaiju versus kaiju, but I think some of them would be robots and or mechs, which I'm going to get into that soon. Let's see. For the second idea is like a mutated fish, again with the oil and stuff. But I thought of like, since it's supposed to be pollution stuff, and that coincides with, in my mind anyways, like natural disasters that humans kind of cause, like the Chernobyl thing, and like oil rigs collapsing and spreading gallons of oil in the ocean, killing all these animals and corals and stuff. And look, I know corals are animals, but just human involved disasters. So, and then that's like 2A design, and then 2B design is based off of mutations from like Chernobyl and stuff, with, I forget what it's called, but where the animal grows a second head, or like a second limb or whatever, an extra limb or what have you. So I was thinking of having the fish have 2 heads. And of course, this monster would be about pollution and oil and the greediness of corporations and the presidency trying to enrich themselves with, getting rid of these bills and stuff to protect land and stuff, so they can literally just mine everything. And then the third one is based off of this. Let's see. It's this. Ooh, an alarm. Okay. It's based off of this drawing. This is from Devilman Illustration. It's a book from the Devilman manga. It's not the actual manga, I believe. It's just illustrations of like character designs and stuff. I don't actually have the book. I just looked it up before this live, so I can give some sort of credit. But since I was going to go with some sort of like sea creature mutation theme, potentially, I thought of like a sea turtle, and then Gamera is the most successful Godzilla knockoff. He's a giant turtle, and I thought, taking inspiration from this, instead of like all those holes with the faces, there'd be less holes, but the faces would be more cartoonish. So like think of this guy's face with his mouth wide open, but more exaggerated. And of course, he's not gonna. If I go with this turtle design, of course I'm gonna make it my own. So, the feet, how they come to like those wavy spikes, and his like tongue is really long and lengthy and stuff. I wouldn't do that. Again, just taking inspiration for potential character design. I just thought that was really sick. Let's see. I'm just trying to get back. Okay, there. This is kind of fun. So that's the third design, and I'm stuck because I really love these three designs. Of course, I want to go with the original, with a dinosaur one, but like I think it's the dinosaur and the turtle ones are my favorite, and then the fish one is at the bottom of my favorite, least favorite, I guess. But I still like it. But man, I would love to create or take some more inspiration from Hidora, but his design is fairly simple, so I can't really do much about that. So, and another villain that I would like to do is, this is more of a, what is it? Abstract villain. Is that it's kind of based on like brainwashing, control the masses, illusions and lies. So just think of when Renee Good and Alex Preddy were shot and killed, and how the media tried to spin their deaths into them being bad people and stuff. But yet we saw what we saw, and it didn't line up really with what they're saying. So kind of like 1984. I forget what it's called in the book. I haven't read it, but it's one of the most popular books. So of course I've come across some of the ideas and stuff, like Big Brother. That was a part of that book, if I remember correctly. like in the book, the government would try and alter what you saw and like kind of like gaslight you into believing the opposite of what you saw. So that's kind of what that's based off of. And for that design, for some reason, I went off with a sea creature. Not necessarily surprising because a lot of people like know I'm into the sea. So, but I thought it'd be really cool. And then, of course, I saved some pictures on Pinterest for inspiration. But the only things I've come up with for design wise are like this. So, like the crab's mouth is kind of like designed after like a sound wave. But of course, it's like based on like a person's voice. But it'd be really cool to design the mouth sound wave as the word lies, but I don't really know on how to get that sound wave visually. And plus, I don't know how elaborate that would be because, like, there are waves and stuff, so I don't know how elaborate that would be. So I just went with like a simple wave. And since there are lies and illusions and stuff and brainwashing makes me think of the black and white swirls to like brainwash you. So the crab's eyes would like turn into that. That's my first idea. But then I remembered the swirly things. And like I've thought of like maybe trying to rearrange the stories a little bit to where this crab is in the first book with this guy right here. But so it can lead into the second book, which potentially could be the one about the crab. Because so far I kind of think I want each one to bleed into the next for continuity and stuff. Let's see. That's kind of it for that one. And actually, I just remembered. I was thinking of maybe turning that one, the crab, into like a mech. So like how King Ghidorah was turned into Mecha Ghidorah or Mecha King Ghidorah. So I thought of maybe doing that and kind of have like a metaphor for like exploitation and stuff. I'm not sure if I want that or not. But it would be really cool to turn him into a mech. So, the fourth one is one based off of war. And I'm still unsure about that one. The fourth one is based off of war. And I saw this really cool artwork on Pinterest. And it was this drawing of a fighter jet. But where the tip of the jet is? It's kind of like a transformer in a way. But at the tip of the plane, there's this robot that's attached to it. So I thought that'd be really cool. Inspiration for design for a war. robot. Like I said, I would prefer to have everything to be kaiju versus kaiju, but I don't know how well some of these would translate into a flesh being. So, granted, I know that this is science fiction and stuff, so it could be whatever I want, but still, the logic side of me is thinking like some of these have to be robots or some sort of mechanized being. And I thought like maybe making the oil monster the third story, and then again bleeds into the fourth story about the war robot, and that's based off of like the theory is like Venezuela has large amounts of oil deposits, so there's that. They also saved other inspiration as well for that, and I was also thinking of maybe I'm not super into Transformers, but I've seen quite a few of them, from like the Michael Bay movies and stuff from the early 2000s and 2010s. So I know they have combiner Transformers. So I was thinking like maybe having the jet be a combiner Transformer type of deal, but with like a tank and or a like a sub or like a some sort of military boat. But I'm not sure about that yet. It would be cool, but again, I would like to try and keep the design simple. Let's see here. Because I think I just want to keep it as the jet. Let's see. I think that might be kind of it for right now. Like I posted in Jeremy's Discord server the images that I showed you for the character designs were from Jeremy's Discord server that I shared. And he like suggested because like we technically know the motivations for the characters since they're punks, so they're anti-racism, anti-fascist, and stuff like that. But China, let's see, what did he say? God, I hate these McAfee pop-ups. I swear. Okay, let's see. Oh, he was talking about like character development for each of the band members. Let's see. And he said we should get a sense of who each band member is as a person and why they're against said opponents. And he said, like, yes, they are against evil, but when you look at the Avengers, Cap has a different motivation than Iron Man, which is different from Hulk or Thor. So that was like his suggestions, and then I asked a story or a question, like how to incorporate those into a story, and he suggested this is just like one place to start off. Ask your character what do they want the most, what are they most afraid of, what is something about them nobody knows, what are they most proud of, what is their greatest strength, and what is their greatest weakness. Pick 3 and make the character confront them during the story. So I'm just thinking on how to do that. Because typically with all my story ideas and stuff, I don't necessarily have any plans for character development or whatever, which probably isn't a good thing. And of course, like, I do tend to be a little egotistical with art. Not to call myself out, but to be frank and real with you. And I just think that oh, my laptop's charging. Yay. I do have a tendency of thinking that I know better on like what to do for my art and stuff. So, and I'm trying to be less prideful and less egotistical and stuff. So I'm just gonna, for right now, I'm just gonna think and ponder on how I can incorporate his suggestions into this whole thing. Because so far, because I looked into it the day that he sent those over in the Discord. And there's different types of character arcs, and one of them is the flat arc. So they don't really like change or anything. They just I forget what it said, but they don't have character arc. They're just flat. So like potentially this could be the story where they are flat characters, but then I can see also me thinking that, and also just to like satisfy my ego. Because originally it wasn't, the idea isn't really supposed to be for character development for the characters themselves. It's them versus the government, essentially. Which I know there are comics where, but okay. So like I said, I know there's comics where it's political and stuff, but the characters do have character development, so I know it exists. Like a part of me is really wanting to go against that flat arc, literally just because I've always thought of, now that I know the term, like it just seems like every comic idea that I have kind of has flat character arcs in them. So I'm just gonna have to try and think on how I could incorporate some sort of like arc for the characters. And since there's 4 of them, and supposedly there's going to be 4 issues, I could do one for each character of the band. So I'm just gonna try and toy around with that idea of character arcs just to see where I can go with that idea and not try and go with what I think knows what I know best, right? Ego wise. But it's also hard to navigate that too. Therapy with Dylan. But like that's not what the idea is for. I wasn't planning on having any sort of character arc for the bandmates. But again, I'm trying to work on my ego, so I'm going to take his advice into account and see where I can go with the story. So the other night I was looking up lists on Pinterest on character motivations and character arcs and stuff to try and help me out. And that could be potentially another live stream, going through those posts and trying to come up with potential motivations and story arcs for the characters. Because I feel like, because you know how I was talking about how I think the lead sinker is probably going to be like a normal design. I think he's going to be pretty protective. I think, of course, all of them are going to be protective, but excuse me. I think he's going to be like the most protective of them all. So that could be a story arc, because in one of the story arc posts that I saw was an arc about, or a post from like Tumblr or whatever, on turning like positive traits into negative character traits or what have you, where it's like protective turning into I forget the word that they chose, but it's kind of like controlling, where being protective becomes like controlling and I guess in a way kind of like authoritarian. I don't know. Like I said, I'll think about it and stuff. I was gonna potentially show my spreadsheet that I wrote out, but I did share that in the Discord with Jeremy's group, because I think that's the only place I want to share right now with the story beats, because you know, if you're a creative, when you're writing down your ideas and stuff, they just flow. So that means that they're not going to be in order of the sequence that you would want to have them written in. So I thought spreadsheets. I was originally using Microsoft Excel to write it down, but they decided to be jerks, and I'm signed out of my account. I didn't fucking log out in the first place, mind you. And I can only sign in if I have like a pass key or some other fucking way that I have to take my phone and take a picture of a QR code and stuff and whatever. I tried that a couple of times, didn't fucking work, and I don't have a fucking pass key, so it's fucking useless now. Unless if I try again, and that's annoying because I had another spreadsheet that's important at the moment. They just need to get their fucking acts together. Like, come on, Microsoft, stop being douches. Just allow me to have a fucking password or send an email or something. But that's all I have so far. Because then I had to bring up. Luckily, I shared it in Discord, so I have it. So I shared it publicly. I can always go back to that. So I went back to that link. It loaded, and I went from tab to tab between Microsoft Excel to Google Sheets. So I rewrote everything out. And luckily, I got everything written down in the order that I would like to have written. Because the main reason why I wanted to do it in Excel or a spreadsheet is because every column and row is movable, right? So I can just type out all of the ideas and then rearrange them to make its story. So I think I might be done on this topic for today. Because I kind of shared almost everything except, for the spreadsheet and all. I don't know if I shared too much. And I didn't share some other things too. Okay. I was looking at the Frankenstein's monster punk dude, and I did write it down. The musician is Mike Mashok. Mashoke? I don't know. From okay. I didn't write which band he's in. Let me look that up. It's gonna be really obvious, isn't it? Ugh. Okay. Stained. Okay. Or currently, anyways. I don't know. So, okay. Stained. Yeah. So I've been seeing a lot of reference photos for everything. Yeah, I've been trying to come up with names and stuff, at least for the crab character. I'm just at the beginning of this project, so not everything's planned out and stuff. So we'll see what happens. I already have some ideas for panel shots for some of these. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay, an hour and 30 minutes. Hopefully I didn't share too much. Okay, let's... Okay. Yeah, this took forever. I was annoyed. Let's see. Well, thank you, Paul, for being here and being active in the chat. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I know this isn't my typical live streaming topic, but hopefully I could do this on a regular basis. So I'm gonna do my best to try and work on this project at night and during the weekend. And I'm still, because I would like to have it in the size, so like digest or manga size, 5.5 by 8.5. But I think at the beginning, I'm just probably going to make a digital comic available to purchase. Let's see. Yeah, I think that might be it for now. So have a good day. Thank you, Paul, again. And thank you for watching, whoever's been watching. I'll see you next time, whenever that will be. Have a great rest of your day and weekend, and Happy New Year. And Happy Chinese New Year too. Bye.